Hi, my name is Janis, and today I'm going to give you my opinion of what are the top 10 spellcasters or spellcaster supports in Edison Format, the retro format from 2010, for those of you who don't know. At the end of the video, I want to give you a quick update on my Arcanite Turbo list from last week because I made some changes. Also, some viewers suggested, or gave some ideas in the comments, which I considered as well. So yeah, if you want to know my thoughts about the updated list, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about it at the end of the video. So let's get right into it with the top 10 spellcasters. So at 10th place, this card just recently resurfaced because the the biggest Edison YouTuber, Keegan E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! He built a deck with Injection Fairy Lily, and I think the deck works quite well. It's kind of, I wouldn't call it stun, it's more like an aggro deck, which, just takes positive traits to dish out a lot of damage really fast. And Injection Fairy Lily not only does that, but it's also really useful in hitting over big monsters. So with paying 2000 life points, it goes up to 3-4 attack. Most big boss monsters sit at 3000 or below. So Injection Fairy Lily can hit over a lot of stuff that could give your deck trouble. Only downside is you need the 2k, but if your deck is good on tempo, I would say, then Injection Fairy Lily is an interesting option. And next card. Next up, we have and this was in my Arcanite Turbo list in the side deck as well, the Secret Village of the Spellcasters, Broken Floodgate. Shutting your opponent out of spell cards is really good. Some decks like Dragon Turbo can't really play under Secret Village. Also, it has some nice applications if you combine it with other floodgates because they protect each other. Secret Village protects itself from MST, from heavy. If you combine this with a skill drain, if you want to be really toxic, it can be opted with Chaos, Raikou, and all the stuff. So your opponent really needs those dusters, dust tornadoes, or Raigeki breaks if they don't run it. No spells, no monster effects. Okay, no monster effects for anyone. But Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Spell cards are a big part of the game, and shutting your opponent out of them, obviously a really good effect. So next up, another card that I had in my Arcanite Turbo list. It's Arcanite Magician. Wait, it's here. Obviously, he doesn't go... Okay, now I'm being dumb. Obviously, he doesn't go up here. It's an extra deck card. Arcanite Magician. What can I say? Level 7 that lets you destroy 2 cards. I think that's pretty good, and it's a bit more generic. If your deck runs a level 4 spellcaster, or level 5 is unrealistic, but level 4 and you have level 3 tuners, you can just include it in the extra deck and it will come up. Getting rid of 2 card spot removal is always pretty nice. And as I showcased in my Arcanite Turbo lists, you can even push this concept to the limit because Arcanite Magician doesn't need to remove spell counters from himself, but can remove spell counters from other cards as well to use its effect. From your field, but your opponent will probably not be on spell counters. So Arcanite Magician, it's more flexible than these cards, which gives him the edge, and as I showcased, if you build a dedicated deck around him, he can be really deadly as well. So I gave him the number 7. Is it? No, it's the number 8 spot, right? In my list. Number 7 goes to Lumina, Lightsworn Summoner. Maybe, wait, we need something to showcase the Arcanite here. Maybe put the Assault mode variant, which is and good. But it's a placeholder for this card, so we have a clean top 10 at the end. Lumina, let's get back to Lumina. Once per turn, you can discard one card and target one level 4 or lower Lightsworn once in your graveyard, special summon it, and then also once per turn during your end phase, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Yeah, typical Lightsworn effect. Special summoning from the graveyard is always pretty good. Lightsworns are a really good archetype. They always run Lumina, so I think for these reasons alone it earns a spot on this list, and I put it at number 7. Number 6. Yeah. Gravekeepers. It's a Gravekeeper. It's Gravekeeper's Spy. And one could combine this with the Descendant. Like, these theoretically kind of share a spot because Spy will always be run with Descendant. But the reason that this one, yeah, special summons, and this one is a brick in hand, so I decided to just give it to Gravekeeper Spy. 2000 defense is also pretty nice. For example, against Blackwings, they're level 4s, they can't really run over this, so decks that are going for the summon and attack strategy. Hero Beat would be another contender, but yeah, decks like that, they really don't like Spies, and Hero Beat, they are rare in the meta, but Blackwings, they aren't. So yeah, Gravekeeper Spy, in my opinion. It's also a Dark, which is always pretty good because Dark has so much good support in Edison and after Edison as well. But we're talking about Edison, so yeah. Right. Next card we're gonna talk about is Summoner. Summoner's Monk. This one is the number 5 on the list. And Summoner Monk has one of the most broken effects in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is tutoring from the... Yeah, not only tutoring, but special summoning from the deck. So it has a restriction, the restriction being that you have to discard, or this is the cost, and restriction is that you can only special summon level 4. Yeah, but still, special summoning your key cards, be it Stratus, be it Rescue Cat. Yeah, usually Rescue Cat is the main target. There it is, for Monk. So yeah, I think the reason I can't really put it higher is because these Cat decks, they are good. But Cat is at 1, Monk is at 1. So yeah, but then again, Monk being at 1 kind of shows that there's a reason, because the card is really good. Yeah, you can combine it with Flamewell Magician as well to tutor out a level 4, make a level 8 synchro. So also Summon the Monk, if you play it with Cat then goes into level 3, so you can make a Arcanite with the Summoner Monk. Yeah, tutoring out of deck, just broken. Also a Dark, which always is helpful. Okay, before we get into the top 4, I have some honorable mentions and also one dishonorable mention. And yeah, I've found quite a few cards which could be considered but don't quite make it. First one would be Relinquished. Yeah, really good effect, but ritual summons aren't that good. Then we have Royal Magic Library. This one usually finds its home in Jank Exodia decks. So yeah, if you want to draw a lot of cards and you combine this with a lot of spell cards that can search or draw, Then you get extra draws from the library. So yeah, there's something there, and it enables these types of decks. So that's why I think this card is really good. But because these decks aren't meta relevant and mostly jank, memes, whatever, it's just an honorable mention for this reason. Next one is the Apprentice Magician, which tutors, and it's interestingly, it can only tutor level 2 or lower Spellcaster monsters, but it can, but you summon them face down, so you can use flip effects, which is pretty interesting and has some really nice applications. Also dark, another good attribute. Then we have another card from my Arcanite Turbo list, the Magical Citadel. If you want to play with spell counters, this card is the go-to card, and the amount of text on this makes it feel like a modern card. Also, it has protection from destruction, which is kind of something not many Edison cards have. Next one is the Knights and Sorcerer, another card from my Arcanite Turbo list, which makes sense. It is a Spellcaster deck after all, so we kind of want to play good Spellcasters. Banishing from your opponent's graveyard is nice. You can special summon it with Magic Exemplar, which is the next card. So let's put this on as well. Is it a Magic or Magical? It's a Magical Exemplar. So these honorable mentions, they are in no particular order. Yeah, Exemplar, special summoning something from the graveyard or from the hand even. Graveyard is better, obviously. It's a really good effect. You need to run spell cards and you need to run targets like the Knights and Sorcerer, but yeah, then it's a pretty easy. Like this card plus Upstart with this engrave is a level 6 synchro. So as easy as that, you summon out a synchro without the need for committing 2 resources, because one of the resources this one gains for free if you have a spell. But you need to run the targets and then you're kind of locked in, and so these are the problems. Next honorable mention is the, how do you write it? Arcane? No, there it is. The Arcane Apprentice. So you see Apprentice team, that's something the Spellcasters have going apparently. Arcane Apprentice, it's just for Assault mode decks. Can use it if you can cheat out a level 6 easily, make a level 8 Stardust, and then this card searches your Assault mode activates. So it kind of enables these Assault mode decks, but they are rogue tier at best, so only an honorable mention for the Arcane Apprentice. Kind of the same goes for Witch of the Black Rose, which is only good in Monster Mash decks, and even there, there are tuners that special summon out a target from the graveyard, like the Breed Dragon. This one, gets a +1 as well, but in the hand, so the Breed Dragon kind of gives you the tempo. Then again, this one doesn't have downside as the Breed not being able to synchro is level 4, so there's Mirrored. It's also dark, but then again in Monster Mash, being dark is not that important. So I don't know. It's a good card in Monster Mash, but outside of that, it's trash. Next card is, this one is Cyber Dragon, but without the good attack. And it's good to make Arcanite Magician. It's good to special summon something on the field if you run Chaos or in synchro decks in general, but Cyber Dragon is usually better because Cyber Dragon is broken against machines. Cyber Dragon has attack instead of defense, so Oracle of the Sun kind of overshadowed by Cyber Dragon, which itself is a really good side card for against machines, but other than that, it's not really run that much anymore. Okay, 2 more honorable mentions. I know these are a lot, but I wanted to show them to you. There we go. Magician's Circle is another one. Like I said, tutoring out of the deck, really, really broken. But there aren't that many good targets for the circle. Like, yes, sure, you could get a Night's Ends, activate its effect. And if you attack with a Spellcaster, yeah, with a good level to make a synchro, Night Ends becomes live, and your opponent probably won't have a Spellcaster to summon themselves. So even though the effect is symmetrical, in reality it's always asymmetrical, I would say. But the problem with Magician's Circle is it's really slow, so you have to set it first, can only use it in the next turn, and you have to attack. And if your attack doesn't go through, okay, when a Spellcaster declares, okay, your attack doesn't have to go through. Yeah, but I think Mirror Force would still destroy the one, but Deep Prison would be kind of okay. But because you usually I assume you would go for synchro plays and then you lose one monster, so having to attack, also if your opponent just has a stronger monster in attack position, you can't really attack that, so it's kind of awkward. Tempo that you have to set it first, wait a turn, and then the fact that you have to attack makes Magician's Circle just an honorable mention, but not better, even though the effect of tutoring from the deck is broken. And the last one is the most iconic, and I probably have used this on the thumbnail, like for me in the future, but you are, as a viewer, you have seen the thumbnail, obviously. It's Dark Magician. I choose this art. Tell me in the comments which one is your favorite Dark Magician art. This one looks really clean as well, but personally I don't like the theme of the magician being that muscular. Is that how you say it in English? Having so many muscles. Yeah. It's a magician. He shouldn't be ripped, he should be smart. I don't know. But the art is nice nonetheless with the signature as well. But yeah, I chose this one, I guess. Yeah, Dark Magician. It has really, really broken support in Dark Magic Curtain to tutor it out. This one. 1000 knives. 1000. I can't write apparently. 1000 knives for spot removal. Then Dark Magic attack. It's just a Harpy's Feather Duster. If you have a Dark Magician, you can also combine this with not Plasma. How's it called? Elemental Hero Prisoner, not Plasma. Prisoner. Yeah, there is one fusion. Then you can send Magician to the grave. This one gets the name of Dark Magician. Then you can use all these spell cards that I just showed you, which are kind of broken, with just Prisma on the board, but then you have to claim Dark Magician, which itself is probably a brick. And yeah, you can cheat it out with some cards, but yeah, it's still a 2500 attack vanilla heat stick. So yeah, the fact that it has this good support cards, but doesn't have a deck, which is good, means it's only an honorable mention. So now I have one last dishonorable mention in Peyton the Dark Clown, because this card would be broken if you change one word from the effect. It would be really, really good. Top 5 Spellcaster for sure, probably top 3, and I think it would see play in various decks. And that's the when. If you change the when to an if, this card would be really good, because then it wouldn't miss timing all the time. So if you mill it, you get one. If you discard it, you get one. If you send it from deck to graveyard, if it's destroyed, if you use it for synchro plays, if you use it as tribute fodder. Yeah, every one of these instances would lead to you getting another Peten, which would be really good. It's only level 3, so I think it could be balanced as well, not like Malicious, who needs to be limited to 2, because 3 would be a bit too broken. So yeah, Peten is my dishonorable mention, because with the Ven effect, it always misses timing and its standards really shit. But yeah, if there would be an if, it would be really, really good. So this is my dishonorable mention. So let's get into the top 4, and I decided to make it a top 4, not a top 3 after the honorable mentions, because the 4th and the 3rd spot, they kinda share a spot. Yeah, let's get to both of them. Lila and Breaker. Okay, both of them just had the spot removal effect of destroying one spell or trap card. And both of them, yeah, can... yeah, you can't really use prior on them. That's the one bad thing. Because Lila has to go to the defense position for the effect to go through. And Breaker first gets the effect of getting a spell count, and then your opponent can already chain bottomless. So yeah, if your opponent has a key card like Whirlwind and bottomless set, they can protect their Whirlwind against these two. But at least they are getting rid of the bottomless, and that's already enough for many decks who just need to ensure that their big synchro plays or other big special summons go through. So yeah. And which one is better? I don't know. This one has a dedicated archetype. Yeah, in which it is a good card with extra benefit from the archetype synergy. This one is a dark, and dark is better than light. But then again, light being a light monster is also good because, yeah, there's good light support as well, mainly honest. This one is also a 1900 beat stick, and after using the effect, it can still attack. And then there's a little added benefit, like you could use it in Citadel decks. Yeah, which isn't as good as using this in the Lightsworn deck, obviously. This one also gets milling, so if you profit from milling, if you want to get certain cards, or you have a lot of cards in your deck that like to be in the graveyard, then Lila is better. So yeah, both cards have their arguments for or against them. Some decks prefer Breaker, some decks prefer Lila. That's why they kind of share a spot. But I made up my mind. In my opinion, I gave Breaker the edge, but just barely. Yeah, you could make an argument for Lila. Let me know in the comments which card do you think is better of these two. Okay, top 2. The second best spellcaster, in my opinion, is the Chaos Sorcerer. Okay, Chaos Sorcerer, it's not as generic as these two, and that's a minus in my rating system. I don't really have a in my rating system in my head. It's just I go by intuition. But yeah, being able to special summon itself is really good, and then you can banish. Banishing is always better than destroying. Only face-up monsters though, so that's... yeah, you can't get rid of flip effect monsters. But yeah, being special summonable, and then immediately with prior getting rid of one monster, add a banish at that. Yeah, and the conditions, having one light and one dark in graveyard. Most decks don't run both, but yeah, more decks. Or yeah, maybe I changed the sentence. There are decks which use both dark and light, and for them, Chaos Sorcerer is really, really strong. Also itself being dark for synergy with Dark Aunt, with Dark Endure. Yeah, it's another advantage. Yeah, so that's also a theme that I noticed, that most spellcasters seem to be dark or light. So makes sense from the flavor that the magicians, they either are dark magicians or good magicians. So magicians, I think, in media and literature, they always have this kind of theme going of either being good or bad and not really neutral. So, the best spellcaster. The best spellcaster, in my opinion, is Kycoo. Kycoo the Ghost Destroyer. Because Kycoo is also pretty generic. It has a good stat line at 1/8. And banishing from your opponent's graveyard is really good. You can also hit 2 monsters at once. So if you get any damage with this, you can banish 2 Treeborn Fox. Yeah, a lot of decks rely on cards in their graveyard, so it's pretty good. And also the floodgate effect. Your opponent cannot banish cards from either graveyard. Is also really good. So it shuts down Bio Turbo for the time being on the field. If you can protect this, yeah, your opponent will have fun. And it also protects your own graveyard. So if you have plays that need to go through, if you don't want your Machina Fortress getting crowed, Kycoo, or summoning Kycoo first, goes a long way in ensuring your graveyard is safe. From Soul Release, from DD Crow, yeah, there one Gladiator Beast Monster. There are a few, not a few. There are some cards which are meta relevant that banish from the graveyard. Also, how's it called? Book of the one the zombies are using? Book of Eclipse? No, what is it? Book of Life. Yeah, Book of Life also does this. So against zombies, you can try to hit their zombies out of the graveyard and then protect your own graveyard, stop them from using Book of Life. So yeah, Kycoo, dark, really generic, is run in a lot of side decks. Like Breaker and Lila, they compete with Dust Tornado or Twister or Trapstun. But this one is kind of unique in what it does. Attacks the graveyard, protects your graveyard, good stat line, dark. So I think this one is the best spellcaster. Okay. And now, as I said, I want to just quickly show you the changes that I made to my Arcanite list. Right, so I went back on a dark package to quickly get out Night's End, and then I added Magical Exemplar. So maybe I added Exemplar first, and then I provided a fast route to Night's End Sorcerer to the grave for it, because Magical Exemplar is really efficient at accumulating spell counters, and if it gets destroyed and you have a Citadel out, these spell counters are transferred. So you still have a lot of spell counters left for when you can make your push with Arcanite, that you can blow up the whole board. Also, getting faster to darks makes Dark Armed Dragon live more easily, so I reintroduced Dark Armed Dragon. So these are the changes I myself made for the main deck. And then had some interesting suggestions in the comments. So Brickmaster47 suggested Mask of Restrict, and they're totally right. It's the best card against the Gigavice match up, or one of the best cards against them. So yeah, and Gigavice is a bad matchup for us because Titania, or in general plans like, how's it called, Lonefire is the main one that Mask of Restrict stops, Titania as well. So yeah, Mask of Restrict, really good sideboard card, also good against Frogs, good against Combo Frogs, Frog Monarchs. So yeah, it's a really good card. We don't review it at all, so we should definitely run this in the side. Then, what else? Diremon5126 suggested Zombie World. And this one I didn't include, but I agree. They said because we're already running terraforming and Zombie World is really good against these plant decks as well, as against dragons also, by the way. But yeah, we don't really want to set this over our Citadel because Citadel sticks and we really need Citadel to make all our plays. So this is one reason against it. The other one is that it turns our monsters to zombies as well, and we want our monsters to be spellcasters to make Arcanite or Tempest or use Magical Exemplars effect. So yeah, these are the two reasons. Like, I know we are running these in the side, but Secret Village is so broken against certain decks like Dragon Turbo that I think it's kind of justified. Also, Secret Village plus Royal Decree really locks some decks out quite hard. So yeah, that's the reason we can run this field spell, but even Secret Village, like, you don't really want to set it over the Citadel. Last but not least, I had a really interesting suggestion of a card that I personally wasn't aware of, which came from Pokedead Steve, who suggested Desynchro. Because Desynchro, for those of you who don't know, like me, you target a Synchro monster, return it to the extra deck, and then you can special summon the materials from the graveyard. So if you summoned it with Knights and Sorcerer, you can use the effect of Knight's Ends to banish from your opponent's graveyard, which is nice. And then you can just go back into Arcanite. So you can go Arcanite, use the 2 spell counters, destroy 2 cards, desynchro it, and then synchro back into it, get 2 new spell counters. So either it's a 2400 attack beat stick, or you can destroy another 2 cards. And if you had a Citadel, you get 1 extra spell counter from using a spell, so you can destroy 3 cards. Or you just use the one from the Citadel, destroy 1 and stay at 2-4. So yeah, Desynchro, it has some nice synergy with Arcanite, but for that alone, I wouldn't run it. But because cards like Stardust Dragon are really problematic for this deck, you can just desynchronize their Stardust Dragon. And then because it says if any of these monsters were in your graveyard, you can special summon them. So your opponent, they don't get their cards from the graveyard. So yeah, you can just get rid of the Stardust this way and ensure you can go for your Arcanite plays. So yeah, really, really nice suggestion. I wasn't aware of this card. I haven't really tested it yet, but I included it in the site for all these matchups, which can kind of easily make Stardust like zombies or what else? Gigabytes, obviously. So yeah, this is the quick update. I think the deck got even better. It's got a little slower in turboing out Arcanite, but it has more resistance. It can now run Dark Ant, gets to spell counters faster, and the side deck has improved. And also, yeah, with those 4 cards, you have some good starters. Cards that, if you have them in your opening hand, you're fine to committing on the board turn 1. So yeah, I think the list got better with these changes. Yeah, so that's it for this video. It would mean the world to me. Like, if you like this video and you're looking for more of my kind of new inventions, jank decks, not so jank decks, but most of all, not meta decks. And even though there are similar decks to this one, I usually mainly come up with these ideas myself and don't look up other lists at first. Then I build them, then I maybe take some inspiration from other lists. But yeah, most of the decks I'm going to showcase, I think they are kind of new, and there are some decks which I'm sure don't exist in this form yet. So if you're looking forward to this, and if you're looking forward to more top 10 lists, because I think that's a team I want to continue as well. Top 10 boss monsters, top 10 generic +1 effects could be another one. Yeah, if you're interested in that, consider subscribing, leave a like. Like I said, leave a comment with which choices from the top 10 spellcasters in my list you agree or disagree. And yeah, for the next video, I plan, because I was specifically asked for that, I show you my Destiny and Dragoon turbo list. Maybe it's more of an absolute zero turbo list, but I turbo both these fusions out. It's just a hero fusion turbo list, but I mainly go for Destiny and Dragoon and for absolute zero, maybe even exclusively for those two. But I will use polymerization and I will fusion summon this bad boy, which is kind of broken if you read the effect. So if you're looking forward to that, I can only repeat myself. Look out for next week. I'll upload every Thursday. So see you then. Bye.